Hey, this is Rico with worldswithoutend.com, and this is the tutorial for our new book tracking feature. BookTrackr is an interactive log that lets you track award-winning science fiction and fantasy books so that you'll know which ones to read next. BookTrackr features are peppered throughout the site, so you're not going to see just one tab that takes you to something called BookTrackr, but you're just going to see its features throughout our site. Once you get to our site and log in, the first thing you'll want to do is click on our Books tab. And that'll take you to a splash page that describes the concept a little bit of science fiction awards and also shows you the current winners. At the time of this recording, those are the 2008 winners for all 10 awards that we currently track. We track the Hugo and Nebula Awards, both of the Locus Awards for science fiction and fantasy. We also track the Campbell, the World Fantasy Association, Philip K. Dick, and the Arthur C. Clarke Awards. And we just recently added the two major British science fiction and fantasy awards, the BSFA and the BFS Awards. From this page, you can click on any of these settings down here, the Hugo and Nebula Awards, if you're looking to get the nominees as well as the winners for these awards. Or you can just click on Get the Winners List to get all of the awards, all of the award-winning books categorized by award across the top here and by year. On top of the table, you'll see a little navigation menu that'll allow you to adjust the way this is displayed. So right now you're only seeing 10 years worth of awards. You can expand that. If I expand it to about 60 years, you'll get every award-winning book in our database. The Hugo Awards go back to 1953. As you notice as I scroll down, you see fewer and fewer books until you get down to 1953. There's the very first book in our database, The Demolished Man. We'll scroll back up a little bit so that we can choose one of these books. I'm going to go into Rainbow's End by Vernor Vinge, Hugo and Locus Science Fiction winner for 2007. And this takes you to the novel page. This is the novel page for Rainbow's End. Here you'll notice a lot of details on the book. These are details that we've had on the site for quite a while, including synopsis and excerpt. But what I really want to show you are the book tracking features that we've added to the novel page. So here is where you can tag books as read, or books that you're currently reading, or books that you've yet to read. You can give them a rating, and you can also tag them with a series of subgenre tags. Subgenre tags are simply tags that allow you to categorize this book in ways that you think make most sense for that book. Rainbow's End is a book that takes place in the near future. That has a lot of virtual reality plot elements in it, and I consider it a pretty hard science fiction book. So those are the three tags that I've developed for it. You can also add this to your reading list, books that you want to read, or add it to your favorites if it's a book that you've already read. So I'm going to call this one of my favorite books. What that's going to do is change the status of this book in BookTrackr. You can also add your own personal notes, and you can submit a review. Once you've entered all of this data, you just hit the Submit button. And then if you want, you can go back to the winners list. As I scroll down, you'll see that Rainbow's End is now colored a powder blue. Each of the colors in the background here indicate a status for the book. So any book that you've read gets a green background. Books that you currently are reading get sort of a tan color, a dark tan color. The lighter tan color are books that are on your reading list that you'd like to read. And then the blue color in the background indicates that the book is one of your favorite books. So if you've read every book on this list, this should be a solid green background, with the exception of your favorite books, which will turn blue. It's an easy way for you to track your goals on this site. So if your goal is to read every book that's ever won any award, this is the view that you would take. But let's say all you want to do is read all of the Hugo winning and Hugo nominated books. Then you'll click on just the Hugo Awards, and you can get that view too. With the winners on the left-hand column and the nominees just to the right of them, you can track all your winners and nominees that way. You can also look at a year-by-year view. So if I click on the year 2008, for instance, now I'm getting a listing of all winners and nominees of science fiction and fantasy awards throughout time. Within 2008. Finally, we have the My World tab. This is a personalized view of all the books you've read. This is my reading list. Well, this is Dave's reading list. I'm using his account for this. A list of your favorites would be just underneath that. Favorite fantasy books as well as favorite science fiction books. We separate them out. As well as your favorite authors list. Finally, you can track authors and publishers. In much the same way you can track books. Here's our top award-winning authors list, Gene Wolfe at the top, with 17 novels in our database. He's been nominated for 40 different science fiction fantasy awards and has won 9 of those awards. If you were to click on his name, you'll see a page dedicated to that particular author. You also have information on science fiction and fantasy publishers as part of our tracking tool. And that's how BookTrackr works.